Good afternoon all, and thanks for stopping by this video, and welcome to Stu's Carp Connect. Today, we're at another Devon day ticket venue, and that is the mighty Furzebray Lakes up in South Molton. I'll give you a bit more of a venue rundown later, but today we are fishing Willow Pool. If you have seen my other video at Furzebray, I filmed that one sort of back in May time, and that was down on the Copse. And today we're on the Willow, as you can see behind me. I guess I've been here around half an hour or so. Where I am is right by the car park. I come and had a walk around before I started, and there was some fish. This is the shallow end, and it is really shallow around this area, and there was quite a lot of fish moving around here. So I thought I'm going to give it an hour or two in here, and then maybe move up to one of the pegs a bit later. It's a really warm day, but it's cloudy. It's not as hot as it has been. It's kind of low 20s, but it does feel warm. But there's a nice breeze and some cloud cover, so I'm hoping potentially that might help us out. I've spoken to the bailiff briefly, and he said there's some fish been coming out of all the lakes, so that's good news. Set up 2 rods for now. I'll put the third out if I feel I need to, but this area's a little bit tight down here. I mean, there is room for a third, but I'm going to try and keep that line out for as long as possible. Right guys, I just put a fresh bag on. It's been in for about an hour and a half or so. I'm going to try and push it a bit further out. I've seen some clouding up just a bit further along, so I'm going to try putting it close to that. Right guys, thought better talk to you about the venue. So we're at the beautiful Furzebray Lakes today. Now there's 3 lakes on this complex. There's the Island Lake, which is the main lake, and that one is exclusive booking only. There's Willow Pool and Copse Lake, and those 2 you can book them exclusively too, but also they do run day tickets at certain times. If you go over to Go Catch, because that's where you've got to do the bookings for Willow and Copse, you can check it all out on there. So Willow, this one was dug in 2011. It's around 2 acres in size. There's six pegs, and they're spaced out well with plenty of water out in front of them. I had a walk around this morning. There's plenty to go out there. There's lots of reed beds and margins. There's 2 islands. There's the sunken bars and the plateaus and things. The depths run from 18 inches up to around 12 foot at its deepest points, I believe. Stock-wise, I think it's around 150 fish, and they run up to sort of late 30s. I think it's somewhere around 37, 38, something like that, with lots of other nice fish to go for. So hopefully we can get one of those out. In terms of venue, on a broader scale, there's a car park behind me here which you would use for the Copse and the Willow, and then as you come in the venue where the reception is, there's a little shop up there too which he sells different things up there, so you could check that out. But there's also a car park at that end. There's a toilet in this car park right behind me. It's all booked via catch for Willow in the Copse. There's no silly rules or anything. It's just, the normal rules. Definitely, when you're on catch, check them out so you know what you're doing before you get here. It is a venue that supplies the nets, mats and slings, so don't bring those with you. And that's it really. That's sort of the basics covered. If you want to know anything more about it, I'll link the website and the Facebook page down below in the description. Check that out and definitely come down here because it's a beautiful place. Right, I forgot to mention when I was talking about the venue, they do have a number of lodges for hire here. I think it's 4 in total. You can hire those and fish any of the lakes. I mean, they're situated up by the main Island Lake, but you can use them to fish the others. Definitely go on the website and check those out. Nearly hour 3. I've been here for about 3 hours and not had anything. I have seen quite a few fish sort of mulling around here and sort of moving in and around and out, but they haven't seemed to have gone down near the bait. I've had a fish pick up this line literally on his back fin on my left line, and the same thing on my right one. They didn't spook off actually, but they're obviously just not interested in getting down on the bait, even though they must be literally right on it. A chap I just spoke to actually on the right hand side with his family, he's a bit further up on the right, but he said there was a younger lad who had fished over the weekend and had 2 30 pluses out of the swim that I'm going to go in, so fingers crossed we could slip something out of there. It's called the Pen. I've made up a bit of a mix for the boat and stuff. I'll show you that when I get around there. We're going to pack up all this stuff and scoot around there so we can get everything ready for the evening bite time. Right guys, just up in the new swim. Lovely breeze now, pushing right down that way. We were down in that bottom corner originally, the shallow end. There's some deeper parts up there, a big reed bed. I'll take some pictures for you, but I'm just going to try and have a couple of casts to see if I can find something slightly deeper. I've had a couple and I found it seems to be around 3 foot mark. If I can find something slightly deeper than that to put one on. Right, I'll show you the setup. This is very similar to what we've been using over the last few weeks, guys. Just tubing down to leg clips, spinner rigs, 2.5 ounce lead. I've got the boat this time, so we're going to put a bit of a few scoops of bait in this one, see if that helps, rather than just small bags. This is the mix, guys. Boilie, bit of hemp, bit of sweet corn, and a few different pellets in there. Hopefully this can do us the trick. Right guys, that's all 3 rods out, just gone out 4. Took a bit longer than I expected, just needed to find the right spot. So the rod placement for tonight is not far off where that duck is now, just to the right, sort of the right edge of the island, maybe a half rod length off the edge of the trees there. That's where I've got my right hand side rod. That's around between 4 and 5 foot. I'll use this duck as a marker. Look, just passed him now in a straight line towards the reeds at the back. The water seems to be flowing quite fast through there. It's around 3 foot, so I've got one in there. And then just down to my left, this overhanging tree, maybe half a rod length off the edge of the tree, maybe a bit more. I've got another one there, that's my left hand side, and that's around 3 foot as well. Right, just going to run you through the baiting approach, guys. One thing I did forget to say when I was talking to you about the venue, it is fresh bait only freeze bait, no shelf life. Just bear that in mind. So I've got frozen cell and I had some frozen link left over, so I'm using both those. I have had the cell soaking in some of that stick mix cell liquid for a few hours before I came, and I'm also using a mixture of the sticky bloodworm pellets and the Mainline spotted PVA mix pellet. I'm also using sweet corn and hemp, you can see in the tins there. In the last sort of 45 minutes, I've put some bait to my right hand side in the margin, just down there. So I'm just going to make up a couple of bags, because I'm just going to lower that down and walk it back. The others I'm probably going to keep where they are and use the boat and drop a bit of bait out with those again. Right, my old fruits, 9:30. I've just reset all the rods. It is starting to get dark now. I know it doesn't look it on camera, does it? But it is. It's only going to be another half hour probably, and then it's going to be dark. Redone the rods. My right hand side, I've come into the tight margin just off a bush down there to my right. My middle one I've got towards the island, similar spot to where I had it before, and then my left one is across the back on towards the reed line, maybe a rod length off. It's about 3 foot back there. Hopefully those spots will do us a bite in the next couple of hours. Right guys, midnight and gone. Nothing to report from since earlier. The only thing that has happened is I've had one good liner on my left arm rod, and that's it. I've not heard much movement in terms of fish. Nothing. When I did do the rods just before dark, I decided to put bat leads on because it's quite a small area and it's quite shallow, and I thought it'd be best to have the lines pinned down as much as possible. Although I don't like that it takes away part of the sensitivity, but I feel like the concealment might be a bit more of a factor in this area, so I've gone with bat leads. Hopefully it won't shoot me in the foot, but if I don't have anything overnight, I'll catch up with you in the morning. Morning, it's 5:30. Nothing to report since 12 o'clock last night when I last spoke to you. Actually, it's been a really quiet night. Didn't hear or see much at all last night. I'm going to change the rods in about an hour or so. Got to be packing up around 11:30, so I'll give it a little while before I change them for that last stretch. It's a bit grey at the moment. I think it's supposed to be getting nicer as the day goes on. Right guys, just thought I'd share this with you. Last night, around midnight, after I'd last spoke to you, I was having this slight internal battle in my head around whether, it's a bit silly, but it's whether a 24-hour session is enough really to, set your stall out, get your spots going, and get your bait working properly. I know that really depends on different conditions, weather, different lakes, baits, all sorts of different stuff can have effect on that. But is 24 hours really enough? I mean, this will be my 10th session, and in those 10 sessions, if I blank this one, touch wood, we don't do that, but that would be 4 blanks in 10. In the other 6, apart from last week's one where I was down at my local Runswater, I've only caught 1 fish per session, which isn't, I'm pleased with that obviously, but only 1 fish in 24 hours seems quite low. But again, that varies on different situations and things. But you see other people catching, you see other people doing, catching 5, 6, 7 fish, don't you, in 24 hours, and that's sometimes just how it goes. We've all done that, but generally you don't do that, do you? It seems to be catch less. So 24 hours, enough or not? Approaching 11:30, guys. I'm on the middle of pack down. Literally got the rods on the floor. Everything else, I'm about to get on the barrow and get myself away. It's a shame, really. Nothing to show you from here unless I literally pick one up in the last few minutes, which has happened before. But it's been really quiet over the last few hours. Not seen anything. The only fish I've known that's come out was from the family just up the bank from me. They had one yesterday afternoon or early evening. A couple of guys have just turned up opposite me. Good luck to them. Guess I've just turned up in a quiet spell, which is typical, but you can't win them all, can you? I appreciate you guys for following. If you could subscribe and watch more of my content, that'd be ideal. I'll see you in the next one, where that may take us. Thank you very much. Take care.